Hello, my name is Brandy Malone, and I'm going to give you my research study from EDS 709. I chose to do my research study on positive behavior reinforcement and the impact of what teachers perceive are effective strategies in utilizing in the classroom in order to have a safe learning environment. Behavior is an important aspect and has a direct correlation with academics. In order to have an effective behavior management plan in place, effective strategies had to be implemented in order to build a safe classroom environment for students to be motivated to learn and to feel a sense of acceptance. That was the quote that I chose from Cook in my research study. I chose this quote because if students do not feel safe or a sense of acceptance, then they're not able to fully give their full capability in order to learn. How does this affect us? According to Johnson and Educational, research has proven that many classrooms that contain negative behavior is normally corrected with negative consequences, and the same students who are normally the ones that are corrected continue the offenses. When students are constantly corrected for the behavior, some students are receiving the attention that they wanted, whether or not it's positive. The students achieve the goal of receiving the class or teacher's attention. This then takes the attention away from academics. I wanted to conduct this study to find strategies that are proven to make students feel confident to build classroom management. The research question for my research states, what did teachers perceive as effective classroom management strategies for positive reinforcement in early elementary classrooms? In order to determine the impact of positive reinforcement with behavior and classroom management in the classroom, several components of positive reinforcement was explored. The guiding questions include, what is difficult or easy about utilizing positive reinforcement in the classroom? What classroom management strategies were utilized to support positive reinforcement? And how was positive reinforcement different from other reinforcement behavior strategies? When I discuss strategies, this word is defined as a plan or method in order to accomplish a goal. Positive reinforcement is defined as an award or outcome followed by a desired behavior with the hopes of the behavior will happen again. My third question included, what positive reinforcement strategies seem to have the biggest impact on positive behavior as well as classroom management? The issue is relevant because research has proven that teachers will engage in two types of behavior management strategies to address problematic behavior. A researcher named Owens recalls the strategy as reactive and proactive behavior management. Teachers will react to the negative behavior and cause a decrease in academic achievement and engagement and an increase in disciplined behavior, or a proactive by pinpointing the target behavior in order to motivate the students to the desired behavior. My methodology. I chose to conduct a qualitative case study because the study explored the teacher's perceptions of positive behavior reinforcement strategies and the effect it had on the classroom. The study was a grounded theory design that consisted of open coding because when the data was gathered, it was used to construct theories about positive reinforcement strategies and its effect on classroom management and behavior. This was from our textbook from Creswell. Within the open coding, data was collected through interviews with teachers, observations, and informal conversations about strategies that were being utilized. Interviews were used in order to assure confidentiality and the opportunity to be open in order to receive a deeper understanding. Observations were utilized to observe anecdotal behavior and consequences that followed. Informal conversations were used to see how teachers viewed the strategies they implemented. The participants in the study included a kindergarten, first grade, and second grade teacher from the same school who had a diverse group of years of teaching and a diverse group of students in the class sizes. When collecting data, I first collected data in preliminary codes with common themes and phrases. Then I finalized a list of codes by the frequency of times the incidents occurred. How many times I saw the behavior in the classroom. After the codes were finalized, the codes were supported by the frequency of times that students made choices in the classroom with the teacher's response, as well as the teacher's perception of positive compared to other behavior choices. These themes included reinforcing positive choices, classroom management strategies, and not reinforcing negative choices. A list of codes within the three common themes, along with frequency of occurrence of each code within the interview transcripts. The methodology was appropriate for this research problem because I was able to observe the behaviors within the classroom and compare it to other teachers' perceptions with their informal conversations as well as their opinions in the interviews. The participants in my study are located in Table 1 and Table 2. There were around 20 students in each classroom. The demographics were also similar, but there are more white and African American students that participated in the study and very few Hispanic students. I think it would be interesting in the future to be able to see how many, or if it would change if there were different and a diverse group of students with demographics. In my study, I found that students were more likely to model the desired behavior when they were given an incentive such as a verbal praise or token for their behavior. The common final themes included reinforcing positive choices, which includes giving a physical award or a label of praise. This was shown differently in each classroom. When transcribing interviews, the first grade teacher explained how her favorite way is just to give a simple compliment. She talked about how she makes students feel better about their choices and how it keeps the momentum going in her classroom. The second grade teacher mentioned that she gives compliments of verbal praise by being explicit, by saying like, good job for putting away your headphones and sitting quietly on the carpet. She explained once she gives one compliment, it's a ripple effect and more students want to participate and earn a reward. The kindergarten teacher mentioned in her interview that when her students make a good choice, she will give them a physical award such as a Skittle or a reward for their good choice. It was interesting to see that all three teachers used Falcon Bucks as a physical award in their classroom to reward their students for good choices. Falcon Bucks are school money that can be used for small prizes or saved for bigger prizes. It was also interesting to see that this motivated either a student or a whole group depending on the teacher's choice. The other two themes that occurred in the research included classroom management strategies and not reinforcing negative choices as well. Classroom management strategies included teaching students the expectations for rules and procedures. The three teachers followed the same rules in their classroom. The 3 B's stand for be respectful, be responsible, and be safe. Each teacher had these rules posted visually in her classroom for the students to see and to refer to. I was able to see these rules modeled and referred to during my observations. One teacher asked, "Are you following the 3 B's?" The students were redirected and made a better choice. When students transitioned from one activity to another, they were able to know what was coming next and to sit quietly. The picture I used here was Give Me 5. This was a procedure only used by first grade teacher. This was not used in every classroom, but I just thought it was unique how each teacher followed the 3 B's, but had a different way of getting their students to follow the rules. The last common theme was including not reinforcing negative choices, which included not isolating a student for a choice that was not a desired behavior or recognizing the bad behavior over a modeled behavior. The second grade teacher mentioned in her informal conversation that she tries to correct the students for the bad choice. She said that when she does that, though, she realizes that the attention could make negative attention and try to get a response. She tries to ignore it rather than acknowledging it. Each classroom observation and interview, I was able to see the teacher make the choice to ignore the bad behavior and to go with the desired behavior by giving a Falcon Book or labeled praise. I found that my research aligned with prior research in my study, and my research study teachers displayed personal relationships with their students. This showed a sense of positivity. They displayed this by responding to positive choices and making students feel safe. I found this strategy to be relative. One study conducted by a researcher named Bolt found that students are more likely to respond in a positive way when the teacher gives a labeled praise. In classroom management strategies, the teacher gave easy and simple rules and procedures to follow to build a relationship. In a study conducted by Owens, he found that teachers should be proactive rather than reactive. When ignoring the bad behavior, I found in a prior study, one teacher, Mrs. Zimmerman, decided that she wanted to go with the positive and ignore the bad behavior, and it showed an increase in engagement, which is the overall goal. If students do not feel safe, then they're more not likely to respond in a positive manner. I found this to be true when conducting my study. When the teachers utilized a labeled praise, students felt safe and more comfortable in the classroom. From this study, I've learned that every teacher needs to have a plan in place, to be intentional, and also to be aware of effective strategies to utilize when giving the behavior. If I were to redesign this study for the future, I would have a larger and diverse group of students. I would also want to conduct this research for a longer period of time to see if it would change whenever the strategies are used constantly throughout the year. I'd also like to conduct a mixed study to see if the academic improves or if it decreases when only positive strategies are implemented in the classroom. From this study, I've learned that it can be time-consuming, and it's important to just go in with the open mindset, because before I didn't have an open mindset. And I've learned through this study and watching my colleagues how to learn new effective strategies through this process. Thank you, and here are my references.